You are working hard. I know you are. You are putting in the hours, learning new things, trying to get better. But let me ask you something. Are you actually getting closer to being the best? Or are you just getting better at being average? I spent 2 years studying people at the top of their fields, not just reading about them, but really digging into how they think, how they train, how they spend their days. And I found something that changed everything for me. The gap between good and great isn't what you think it is. It's not about working harder. It's not about some special gift you are born with. It's about four specific things that nobody talks about. I call it a wise system. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why you are stuck and what to do about it. Let me show you. Right now, you are probably doing what everyone does. You are practicing your skill, you are reading books, you are watching videos like this one, you are trying to learn. But here is the truth that's going to sting a little. Most of what you are doing is making you feel productive without actually making you better. You know that feeling when you finish a course or read a book and you feel smart? That's not progress. That's entertainment disguised as learning. Your brain loves it because it feels like work without the pain of real work. And that's the trap. You think you need more information. You don't. You need a better system. Here is something interesting that researchers have found. When people practice in ways that feel easy and comfortable, they report feeling like they are learning more. But when they are tested on what they actually retrained, the results tell a different story. The people who practiced in ways that felt harder and more frustrating actually learned more, even though it didn't feel that way. That's the thing you need to understand. If your practice feels good, you are probably doing it wrong. This is the R in RISE, repetition. But listen closely because everyone gets this wrong. You have heard the 10,000 hours thing, right? Practice for 10,000 hours and you will be great. That's just garbage. I know people who have done the same thing for 20,000 hours and they're still average. And I know people who got amazing in 2,000 hours. The difference isn't the time, it's how you are using that time. Look at how professional athletes train. Take basketball players. You think they just play basketball all day? No, they break down every single piece of the game into tiny parts. They will spend an hour just practicing one type of shot from one spot on the floor over and over. The same movement, the same angle, until their body knows it without thinking. Then they move to the next tiny piece. But here is what you are probably doing instead. You are practicing the whole thing. You are trying to get better at everything at once. And your brain cannot handle that. It's like trying to learn 10 languages at the same time. You will learn a little bit of each and master none of them. This idea is backed up by what we know about how the brain creates skills. Your brain builds neural pathways through repetition of specific movements or thoughts, but it can only focus on strengthening one pathway at a time. When you practice everything at once, you are asking your brain to build 10 roads at the same time with limited resources. When you focus on one small thing, all those resources go into building one really strong road. Here is what you need to do instead. Tonight, I want you to look at your skill. Whatever you are trying to master, break it down into the smallest pieces you can. If you are a writer, don't practice writing. Practice writing opening sentences. Just that. 50 opening sentences. If you are learning to code, don't build full projects yet. Practice writing one type of function over and over until you could do it in your sleep. If you are in sales, don't practice full pages. Practice just the first 30 seconds. Do it 50 times. Your brain learns through patterns, but it can only log in one pattern at a time. When you practice everything at once, nothing sticks. When you practice one tiny thing over and over, your brain builds a path. Then you move to the next tiny thing. That's how you get great fast. The mistake everyone makes here is getting bored. You will do the same thing 10 times and think you have got it. You don't. Your brain needs way more repetition than you think. The best in the world do the boring work that everyone else quits on. That's the secret. This is the I in RISE input. What you put into your brain matters way more than you think. And most people are filling their heads with junk that makes them slower. Here is what I see all the time. Someone wants to get great at marketing. So they follow 47 marketing people on social media. They read every new article. They watch every video. They're consuming information all day long and they feel smart. But ask them to actually do marketing and they freeze. They are stuck in learning mode, never switching to doing mode. There is solid research on what's called cognitive load. Your brain has limited working memory. When you are constantly taking in new information from multiple sources, your brain spends all its energy trying to sort and store everything. It doesn't have the capacity left over to actually process and use any of it deeply. It's like trying to fill a cup that's already overflowing. The new water just spills out. The best people I studied do something different. They pick one source and go deep, really deep. Instead of reading 10 books, they read one book 10 times. Instead of following 100 people, they study one person until they understand exactly how that person thinks. Look at how chefs train. They don't learn recipes from everywhere. They work under one master chef for years. They make the same dishes hundreds of times. They learn that chef's way completely before they start exploring other ways. And that's how they develop their own style that's actually good, not just a messy mix of everyone else's ideas. Here is your action step. Right now, you probably have a list of people you are learning from, books you are reading, courses you are taking. I want you to cut that list down to one, just one. Pick the person or the source that's closest to where you want to be. Study only that for the next 90 days. I know it feels scary. You will worry you will miss out on the other stuff. You won't. You will actually learn more from one source deeply than from 10 sources shallowly. And here's the other part of input that matters. You need to put the right stuff into your body, not just your brain. Look at your daily habits right now. I bet you are filling your time with things that feel productive but aren't. Checking email, scrolling, watching random videos, all of that is input too, and it's teaching your brain to be distracted. The best performers protect their input like crazy. They know that what they do in the morning sets up their whole day. They know that if they start their day scrolling, they will be scattered all day. So they control what goes in first. Maybe it's reading for 30 minutes. Maybe it's working on their craft right away. But it's intentional. It's chosen, not random. Try this tomorrow morning. Don't check your phone for the first hour you are awake. I know that sounds impossible. Do it anyway. Use that hour to work on your skill. Just 1 hour of focused work before the world gets to you. Do that for 7 days and you will feel the difference by day 3. This is the ace in rise, speed. And this is where most people completely mess up. You think you need to get it right before you try it. Wrong. You need to try it and get it wrong as fast as possible. Your brain learns from mistakes way better than it learns from success. When you do something right, your brain says, okay, cool, we did it. When you mess up, your brain pays attention. It's like an alarm going off. Your brain starts looking for what went wrong so it doesn't happen again. That's when real learning happens. But most people are so scared of failing that they prepare forever. They learn and learn and learn, and they never actually do the thing. I did this. I spent 6 months learning about writing before I wrote anything real. And you know what happened when I finally started? I was terrible. All that learning did matter because I hadn't made the mistakes yet. I hadn't learned what I was actually bad at. Look at how tech companies work. They don't spend 5 years building the perfect product before they show it to anyone. They build a raw version in 3 months and put it out. It sucks. People hate it. And that's exactly what they want because now they know what's wrong. They fix it fast. Put out version 2. That one sucks too, but less. They keep going. Fast cycles, fast failures, fast fixes. That's how they get great products. There is research from neuroscience that shows uncertainty and prediction errors are what signal the brain to pay attention and learn. When things go as expected, your brain basically ignores it. When something goes wrong or differently than you predicted, that's when your brain kicks into learning mode. That's why failing gives you real information that reading or preparing cannot give you. Here is what you do. Whatever you are trying to get great at, I want you to fail at it this week, not by accident, on purpose. If you're learning design, make something ugly and show it to people. If you're learning to speak another language, have a conversation you are not ready for. If you're learning to sell, make a pitch before you feel ready. The goal isn't to succeed. The goal is to find out exactly where you suck so you know what to fix. Most people wait until they feel confident. That's backwards. Confidence comes after you have failed a bunch and survived it. When you realize that failing isn't the end of the world, you start moving faster. And speed is everything. The person who fails 100 times in a year will beat the person who fails 10 times every single time. The mistake people make here is failing the same way over and over. That's not learning, that's just being bad. When you fail, you have to pay attention to why. What exactly went wrong? What would you do different next time? Most people fail and just feel bad about it. The best people fail and get curious about it. They treat every failure like data. This didn't work, okay? What does that tell me? What do I try next? This is the E in RISE, environment. And this might be the most important one because it works even when you are not trying. Your environment is shaping you right now, whether you notice it or not. Research by Wendy Wood at Duke University found that about 45% of what we do every day isn't actually decision at all. Automatic behaviors triggered by our environment, and habits come from your environment. If you are around people who work hard, you will work hard without even thinking about it. If you are around people who make excuses, you will start making excuses. It's automatic. I see this all the time. Someone wants to get better, so they watch videos and read books and try really hard. But then they go back to hanging out with the same friends who don't care about improvement. They go back to the same places, the same routine, and all the trying gets erased because their environment pulls them back down. Look at athletes. You think they train alone? No, they train with other great athletes. They're in gyms where everyone is pushing harder than them. That environment forces them to level up. They don't have to motivate themselves every day because the people around them are already doing the work. It pulls them up automatically. But here is what you are probably doing. You are trying to be great while surrounded by average. Your friends aren't bad people. They're just not on the same path. And that's okay for them, but it's killing your progress. Every time you are with them, you slip back into old patterns, old ways of thinking, old habits. You need to change your cycle. I know that sounds hard. I'm not saying dump your friends, but I'm saying you need to find new people who are where you want to be. Join groups, go to events, find communities online. Put yourself in places where the normal behavior is the behavior you are trying to build. Social learning is one of the most powerful forces in human behavior. We're worried to copy the people around us. It's not weakness, it's biology. Your brain is constantly watching others and adjusting your behavior to match the group. That happens whether you want it or not. So instead of fighting it, use it. Put yourself in groups where copying the behavior around you makes you better. Here is your move. This week, find one place where people who are better than you hang out. Could be online, could be in person, doesn't matter. Just go there, watch them, listen to them. Let their standards become your standards. Your brain will start copying their patterns without you even noticing. And here is the other part of environment. Your physical space matters too. If your workspace is messy and distracting, your brain will be messy and distracted. If you're trying to focus in a place where you usually relax, your brain gets confused. It doesn't know if it's work time or chill time. The best people create spaces that trigger the right mood. When they walk into their workspace, their brain knows it's the time to focus. They don't have to convince themselves. The environment does it for them. So look at where you work right now. Does it help you or fight you? Most people are fighting their space every single day and wondering why they cannot focus. Make one change today. Clear your desk. Put your phone in another room. Change something so your brain knows this space is for serious work. It sounds small, it's not. Your environment is either lifting you up or dragging you down. There is no neutral. Let's lock this in. Here is what you now know that most people will never figure out. 1. Repetition isn't about hours, it's about breaking your skill into tiny pieces and making each piece perfect before moving on. Stop practicing everything. Start mastering small things. 2. Input isn't about learning more. It's about going deep with less. Pick one source, study it completely, protect what goes into your brain and your day. 3. Speed means failing fast on purpose. Stop preparing forever. Start trying to failing now so you can learn what you actually need to fix. 4. Environment isn't just nice to have, it's running the show. Change who you are around and where you work. Your circle sets your ceiling. You came here thinking you needed to work harder or learn more. Now you know you need a better system, the RISE system. These 4 things working together will get you to the top faster than talent ever could. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. This won't feel good at first. Breaking things down into tiny pieces feels slow. Going deep with one source feels limiting. Failing on purpose feels scary. Changing your environment feels lonely. Your brain will tell you to go back to what's comfortable. Everyone's brain does that. But here is what's different now. You understand the game. You know that uncomfortable is where growth lives. You know that feeling productive isn't the same as being productive. You know that the people at the top aren't special. They just stuck with the uncomfortable stuff longer than everyone else. Here is what I want you to do tonight. Pick one thing from Rise, just one. Maybe it's breaking your skill into small pieces. Maybe it's cutting your learning sources down to one. Maybe it's failing at something this week on purpose. Maybe it's changing one thing about your environment. Pick one and do it. Not tomorrow, tonight, before you go to sleep. Because here is the truth. A year from now, you will either be the best at what you do or you will still be watching videos about how to get better. The difference is what you do in the next hour, not next week, not when you feel ready, right now. You have got everything you need. You have got the system. You have got the knowledge. The only question is whether you are actually going to use it. I think you will. I think you are different. I think you are tired of being almost great and you are ready to actually be great. So go, do it, start tonight. And when you are at the top a year from now, you will remember this moment as when everything changed. If this helped you see things differently, and if you want more real talk about getting better, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Now, go become the best. You are closer than you think.